Flexibility is a critical ingredient in the verifications process. Every organization have their own little nuances or their own logic about how they want verifications done. It could be simple as asking certain questions in certain orders, or perhaps asking a totally different question. But others have different logic, like they only want certain possible answers, or if you answer this, then they want this logic to apply or some other logic to apply. Within most background screening organizations, that is done by an individual on the floor reading a series of instructions and hopefully applying those instructions in a consistent manner. At Roads Edge, we use technology that the system actually drives the process and provides great flexibility with consistent execution. These tools are often referred to as workforce automation. To understand these tools and the flexibility, we have to go behind the scenes and look at the processes and how they are executed. Now, this may look like a simple process flow, perhaps from Visio or a similar tool, but in all reality, this is actually the underpinnings of how our software works. And as you can see, this is the Employment Basic phone call. This is basically orchestrating how a call takes place end to end. You can see there are lots of steps in the process and lots of different paths that can be followed. If we actually drill in on just one single question, such as employment dates, that's actually a sub-process, and that points to this logic, which yet again brings more complicated steps that have to occur. And again, remember, in most background screening companies, all of these same decisions have to take place, all of these same paths have to take place, but they happen within the mind of the agent. We often refer to that as tribal knowledge. With Roads Edge and a technology that we deploy, we actually can go down these paths systemically. To really demonstrate that, let's just simplify this and take a look at a very basic process. Here we have three very simple questions that we would ask in most employment verifications: employment dates, job title, and departure reason. And it might look a little something like this. I'm going to run this in test mode. It might simply say, could you tell me the dates he or she was employed with your company? And there's a box for them to capture that. And there's also a place for them to capture whether that information matches or does not match what was provided by the individual. Then they would move to the next question, which is job title. What was the job title of the position? Again, they would capture what they hear over the phone and whether it matches a review. Then they would continue on to the next question, which would simply say, why did they leave? What can you provide the reason he or she left the company? And in this case, we have a drop down. Now, other companies may want us to put free text. They may want us to have different options in the drop down. All of that is configurable. So as an example, let's say your organization wanted to have different options in the departure reason. For us, it would be as simple as going into here, editing the data, and adding more reasons. It would be as simple as that. You could also say you want to ask these questions in a different order. You want to ask job title first instead of employment dates. And it would be as simple as moving this around like so. And if we run the process for your organization, it would execute them in that order. You might even say, well, I only want to ask the departure reason question under certain circumstances, like a particular end user. In that case, we could simply throw what we call a switch variable, where we look at who the end user is. And if the end user is ABC department, it will ask the question. If it doesn't, it'll just simply end the process. So flexibility is absolutely critical, but more importantly is to execute that flexibility consistently every single time. By using our technology and our systems to deliver it, we can guarantee that we deliver a better product than anyone else in the marketplace.